everybody. I'm Elizabeth Redeman. I'm a deputy with the Richland County Sheriff's Department. I'm also the CounterACT teacher here at Ithaca Schools. This is my third year teaching this, and I really enjoy it, and I hope the kids get something out of it. I want to first thank you to, parents and the students for participating with the homework that the kids had to do throughout the past few weeks. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. The following presentation is from the Richland Center Police Department. The presentation is about what CounterACT is about. The Richland Center Police Department also teaches CounterACT for the Richland schools. So we're going to be using their program and their recording for this video. After that presentation, then you guys will be watching the 6 videos, which are short videos of the students from here at Ithaca in the 5th grade. The students had to put together little skits based on what they learned throughout CounterACT. So again, I want to thank you guys. I appreciate you taking the time out to watch this video. I hope you enjoy it, and please continue to talk to your 5th grade students and the other kids in your household about drugs, alcohol, and violence. Thank you again.
So the CounterACT program was founded by the Hazelden Foundation and the Golden Valley Police Department. And they formed the program to teach ways to overcome peer pressure and resistance at an early age. And the 5th grade students is the targeted age in this program because that's when they're first starting to figure out who their friends are, what peer pressure is, and we want to teach them ways to move forward by not participating in consuming or using drugs, alcohol, and violence to get through life. So some of the things that we're going to talk about today is the need for the program. So we teach this program to help make them aware of what kind of drugs and alcohol are out there, as well as give them examples of things that maybe I see, because we do talk about ourselves and our job when we're in the classroom, so they do ask us questions about what we do or what we see. Obviously, we keep that content appropriate for the age group. At this time, I'm going to lead into having Laura Carpenter, a member from the Partners for Prevention Coalition, talk a little bit about the data, and after this presentation is all complete, you're going to have access to be able to contact us with questions, and we'll do our best to answer them as we move along.
Hi, my name is Laura Carpenter, as Officer Liz said, and I am a member of our Partners for Prevention Coalition here in Richland County. I've been a member of this coalition for several years now. As a local business owner, as well as a mom in this community, I feel very strongly that we're invested all together in the community as well as our school system. And with 4 kids, my youngest is in 4K, he's just starting in the school system. And then my oldest is a college-age girl, but she graduated from Richland Center 2 years ago. And she was one of the first student representatives on the coalition, and now my middle daughter is in high school, and she is a member of the student representatives for the coalition as well. And so we're all in this together, helping build strong and stable youth in our community. One of the things that we did as a coalition is we had sent out these surveys. We did this at the middle school as well as the high school level in 2017 and 2019. And basically this is a self-reported survey. This is the kids, these statistics are what the kids are reporting themselves. So from this, we were able to gather this data. And I'm going to give you an overview of what's kind of going on in our county. First, I want to preface this by saying that there is good news. The good news that we found with these surveys is that the majority of kids in Richland County are choosing not to use alcohol, not to use drugs, and not to smoke tobacco or to vape. But when I get into this, you might be a little bit disturbed at first, because I know as a mom I was, mainly about the things that kids were doing, but also the age at which they started doing them. So first up, we have our response for the self-reported use of alcohol. First, we talked about 30-day use, and at the middle school, it was around 12% both times. 12% of kids at the middle school reported using alcohol in the last 30 days. at the high school. It was slightly more in 2017, but in 2019, that was 23% of them reported using alcohol in the prior 30 days. 10% of the high school students reported binge drinking, and 4% reported that they drove after they had used alcohol. So they drove while they were under the influence. And of course, the one that kind of shocked me as a mom is that the high school students reported that their first experience of drinking alcohol occurred before the age of 13. So we're not really thinking, about that. We think of, oh yeah, it's kind of a normal part of college and high school life, but we don't really think that these are kids that are, early in middle school or late elementary school. So the CounterACT program is really important to get them before they hit that age. Next, we asked them about marijuana use. And in the past 30 days, the middle school students had reported 5%. 5% had reported using. At the high school, 9% had reported using. And at the high school, we did ask them, have you ever used? And 22% of high school students said that they had used marijuana, if not in the last 30 days, at some point in their life up to there. And again, we did ask that question, how young were you? And 16% reported that they had been introduced and used marijuana the first time prior to age 13. We did ask about drugs, prescription drugs and over-the-counter drugs. The middle school students and the high school students, now I will say, they're reporting that they have used them, but these are lower numbers. I thought that was a little cheerful, a little bit better. But middle school, 3% had used some type of prescription or over-the-counter drug in the prior 30 days in an inappropriate manner. High school students, it was between 6 to 9%. And then there also was a very small percentage, 1% of the high school students did report using heroin. It's not something that I was expecting, but it's there. And then of course we go to tobacco and vaping. And this one is probably the highest percentage, was in high school, 40% reported that they had tried vaping. And vaping right now is really easy. They're small, they have fruity flavors, they're easy to hide, and they're easy for them to get. Tobacco, for cigarettes, 22% had said that they had tried or used cigarettes. The thing with that is cigarettes, I think, are a little bit more controlled, but the vaping is something that we're really keeping our eyes on.
A couple other things that they looked at in the survey was other drug use, like inhalants. Inhalants are something that we don't commonly see a lot of use of, but they are out there. And in the classroom, I do show pictures of drugs and alcohol, not to encourage your student to use these items, but to make them aware of what kind of drugs are out there. So inhalants is something that we talk about, and I explain a little bit about how that process works. I also tell them, don't go home and do this, okay? So I'm not there to encourage them to participate in these behaviors. I'm there to teach them about it and make them aware that this is one of the things that they could see, as well as meth and cocaine and other steroids. Meth was unfortunately reported being used in both 2017 and the 2019 survey. So some of the reasons why we teach CounterACT to elementary age students. We teach it to them because we want to show them that we care. We care about what they do and how they're interacting in school. And so if we care about what they do in school, we also have to care about what they do outside of school. And we can do that by talking with them and working with them and being open for question and answers about different things in their life as they move past 5th grade into the middle school and high school age groups. We also teach them to show them and prevent problems with use for alcohol, drug, and interaction with violence. We teach them the refusal skills, and we show the kids that they aren't alone in this, that they can go to any responsible adult or any person that they feel is a responsible adult. And I'll get into that as we move through this, different responsible adults that we talk about in the classroom. This program is primarily about alcohol, drugs, and violence. And we talk about alcohol as well as tobacco, both legal drugs currently. And we also talk about illegal drugs like marijuana, cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, all of those things we talk about in the classroom. And we do talk about violence and different forms of violence like social media bullying or in-person bullying and explaining the difference between them. We talk about different forms of bullying like physical and emotional. So if I say something to someone, that could be viewed as bullying. We also practice the skills. So as we're working through the program, there are activities within the program that we participate, and some of you have been participating in the homework, learning about influences and consequences, and participating in those activities that we send home to help your student better understand what it is that's going on. Because you as a parent might have different influences and consequences than a 5th grader. And then we build a team. So we work together to build a team. This is what we know. We know that there are influential factors that make a difference in our lives. So obviously there's going to be influential factors that make a difference in a child's life, like parents and family, and peers, friends, groups, things like that. Media and advertising is a huge, everybody lives in the technology world. We have access to social media, different platforms like Twitter and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. So CounterACT, the definition that we use in the classroom is to resist or oppose. And we use that definition, one, because that's the definition that the program designer uses, but it's to teach them to resist or oppose drugs, alcohol, and violence. We also talk about influences and what influences are. So influences are forces that shape the way we think, feel, and act. And different influences can be church groups, they can be Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, they can be advertisements, some of the things that I've already mentioned. But all of the influences that your student has should be influences that are positive and make them feel good and have fun and have friends at the same time. We also talk about consequences and what happens because of our actions. Some of the things that we talk about are short-term and long-term consequences of alcohol and tobacco use, just to give them a basis understanding of what consequences might look like. For example, with alcohol, short-term consequence could be like you feel sick to your stomach, you're dizzy, you're tired, things like that. You could lose balance. And the long-term could be kidney disease or liver failure, things like that that over time can harm the body. And we talk about the legal consequences as well of being cited or caught under the age of 21. We talk about alternatives, and that alternatives are something that are positive and that they can choose to do instead of whatever other activity they might be participating in. And those positive activities have to be safe, legal, and fun, and they have to make them feel good, have fun, and have friends at the same time. For example, fishing in the community, going to the park with a group of friends, going to the roller skating rink, going on a bike ride. Some of the skills that we teach in the classroom, the first one is that we check it out. And we do that by asking questions. We ask open-ended questions like who, what, where, when, why, and how. And you can also ask closed-ended questions, but we talk about the difference between the two and how they could get more information by asking an open-ended question. We also talk about the consequences and what can happen because of their actions as they are working through their scenarios. We have them suggest a positive alternative, which is something that they can choose to do instead. I also teach them that they're in charge of their own decision-making process. They get to decide what happens in their life, and we teach them about becoming a team with the school, with us as police officers, with the coalition, and other community members that they feel are responsible adults as they're moving through past 5th grade, through middle school and high school, so that we are all in this together and we're working together to help them. So what are we doing as law enforcement? Different things that we are doing. We teach the CounterACT program to the 5th grade every year, about this time of year. We also have a Crime Stoppers line, and you can contact that to report any suspicious activity or behaviors in the community. And when you call that line, you can choose to remain anonymous if you want, and depending on what type of information you provide, you can be eligible for a cash reward. And that phone number is 647-CLUE, 647-CLUE. We also have the Drug Task Force, which is comprised of members from the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department, and they work together to remove illegal drugs from the street. We do 2 drug take-back days every year, typically April and October, and the reason for that is to remove unwanted, unused, expired prescriptions from everybody's home in the community and destroy them properly without leaving them open and accessible to our youth and community members that shouldn't be taking medication that isn't theirs. We also participate and cooperate with the Partners for Prevention Coalition, and we do alcohol and tobacco compliance, agent compliance checks, and those are, we go around to local businesses and we make sure that they are not selling tobacco or alcohol products to underage people. So what can you as a parent do, or a responsible adult? You can listen to that person. Show them that you're interested in what they have to say and be there for them if they do have questions. Be a positive role model for them. Have a good conversation with your child. We want to give them feedback on what they're doing. Just like if they were in school and they were not doing so well in a class, or they're doing really well in a different subject, you know, we're giving them feedback all the time. We got to do the same thing when they're maybe not making such good choices, so that they can learn from those experiences. And if needed, make some personal changes for yourself. If you're not leading by example, they're gonna follow exactly what you as a parent are doing. We wanna help teach them to guide others so that they can start building their network and their team. We want them to be open to new ideas, as well as you be open to new ideas. If your child comes home and wants to talk to you about something, be open to the idea that they present to you and try to have a conversation about that. Be vigilant and monitor your alcohol supply at home. So one of the ways that you can do that, and Laura Carpenter is going to talk a little bit more about that, is to secure your alcohol either by using a lock or buy less of it and not keep it in the house. So the goal with this program is to sustain the impact of CounterACT throughout middle school and high school and into their adult life. And to do that, we need your help. So one of the ways you can do that is you can monitor the alcohol supply and tobacco supply and their access to those things, as well as participate, if you so choose, in the Not at My House campaign. And I'm gonna let Laura go ahead and explain what that all means, and then I will step back for the closing.
Again, my name is Laura Carpenter, and I am with the Partners for Prevention. As I mentioned before, the good news for us is that most of the kids in our community in Richland County are choosing not to use alcohol, drugs, and tobacco. What we as Partners in Prevention have made our goal, or our priorities for the next 6 to 24 months, is that we want to turn down the emphasis in this community on alcohol always having to be part of whatever celebration is going on, that you can't have a good time without alcohol. So we're going to use some techniques, and we're going to be out there educating, promoting awareness, and giving support to you as parents to help turn down that emphasis. What we know is going on in this community right now is that there are kids that are drinking on private property and with the consent of adults. We would like to reduce the incidences of that. We do know that there are parents and adults choosing to indulge in alcoholic beverages while they're at events where youth are at, and we want to help give people the tools to be good role models and to maybe make the choice to, hey, I'm going to maybe not do that this time. Another thing that we want to do is we want to work with all of the establishments that are licensed to serve and to sell alcohol, to help support them in remembering to consistently and every time check those IDs. We have signs for them that they can put up for their employees and also just have around their establishments. And most importantly, we want to get out there and increase awareness about vaping, because vaping is something that we're seeing as very common and is a problem in underage users in this community. And the vaping industry itself is sort of tongue-in-cheek designed to market themselves at the younger users, maybe college age, but also it's very attractive to kids. In elementary school even, we're seeing it. You know, they come in little cute little e-cigarettes and little devices. They're fun colors, they're fun flavors. And we want to get the message out there that they seem harmless, but they're not. They're very harmful. Most importantly, we want to work on reducing that age of the first time kids are experiencing or exposed to alcohol, drugs, and tobacco. Because we know, because the studies have been done, that the younger that children are when they are first exposed to the things, the more likely they are to later go on to misuse, to abuse, or become dependent on alcohol, drugs, and tobacco. So what we're going to do about that is we are here to support you as parents. We have the Not in My House campaign. We have a parent pledge that we can provide for you that you can sign to make that pledge that not in your house, you're not going to be serving alcohol to minors. You are not going to be condoning underage drinking. You're going to be there to help educate and support and love your child and your child's friends. We also have signs that you can post that say underage drinking, not in my house. You can post that sign in your yard to let your neighbors know that you do support safe youth in our community, keeping them safe, keeping them healthy, finding positive, appropriate ways for them to have fun. We also have free fridge locks, and we have a picture here of a family that have chosen to put their fridge lock on their fridge as a way to monitor the alcohol in their house. Now, hey, I trust my kids, but we have two beverage refrigerators. We have one for pop and water, and we also have one for the adult beverages. That's a way that we use to kind of differentiate that. But we do have a fridge lock. Not that we don't trust them, it's just that, you know, we're not there 24/7. So it just makes a nice visual impression too. And also, like she mentioned, we have this pamphlet. It's the Small Talks pamphlet. I know a lot of the face-to-face time I have with my kids is when we're going back and forth from activity to activity. And sometimes in those commutes, that is the perfect opportunity for us to maybe take out one of these questions or one of these talking points to start a conversation that's sometimes awkward. Heck, it's parenting. Everything is so overwhelming these days with digital media. Now we have all this wonderful fun stuff going on with the pandemic. So sometimes we just need a little help. So that's what this pamphlet is here for you to do. Also, we have other free resources that are available to you. We do have lock boxes for your prescription drugs, and so we can get one of those to you as well. Now you'll see the little QWERTY box on the screen here, so if you want to pause the video, you can take a shot of that with your cell phone and that'll come up.
Brisket takes place at a bar where two of us are underage drinking. Hey Memphis, do you want some beer?
Are you serious?
Yeah, do you want some or not?
Where did you guys get it? Why do you have it?
We got it from the lady up front. We want to have a good night.
Well, you guys could get in trouble.
What makes you think that we are at a bar? That's what you do when you are at a bar.
Well, instead we can drink water or soda with us.
Maybe. We'll think about it.
Well, if you guys change your mind, Cal and I will be at the park.
Actually, that sounds like a good idea.
Let's go.
Hanging out in the park when one of us offers the rest of us cigarettes to try. Hey guys, look what I found in a friend's house.
What is it?
It's a pack of cigarettes.
I see that, but why do you have them? Why did you take it from a friend's house?
Geez, why all the questions? Does it really matter?
No.
Do you have a lighter?
No, I don't want one. And you shouldn't either. You can get lung cancer.
Yeah, or you can get addicted. So instead of smoking them, let's just go take a hike or go bike to the pool.
We're going to be over on the swings waiting for you to decide what you want to do.
I'll think about it.
Because you're outside and get into a fight. That was your fault. No, that was your fault. No.
Hey, what is going on?
She pushed me. No, I didn't.
If you guys don't figure this out, I'm gonna go tell the teacher.
Fine.
I'm gonna go play over by the slides. You guys can join me when you're ready.
Okay. I'm going to tell a teacher, and then your parents are going to find out. That's fine. Fine.
Hey, I'm sorry for running into you. And by sorry, I mean really sorry.
That's okay. Thanks for apologizing. Want to go play with Zeltland? Sure. Hey, today we are doing a play about drugs and hope you liked it. The setting is on a sidewalk. Hey, do you want some of these drugs I found?
No.
No. But why not?
Because you can go to jail.
Why do you have them? None of your business. There might be consequences.
Or you might get arrested or go to the pool instead.
You can go with us if you want, but throw those away. Sure, I guess. All of us go to the pool. The end.
The skit is about three friends at a party. Another friend shows up trying to offer drugs.
Hey guys, look what I got.
What is it?
It's drugs.
Where did you get them? Why do you have them?
I found them on the street.
You can get sick from it.
You can get in trouble and go to jail. I don't care.
How about we go fishing or go to the park?
We are going to the park. How about we throw them away and you can join us if you want to. Autumn and Ellie are at the roller skating rink. Then Brock comes and asks if they want drugs.
You guys want some drugs? It's good.
Where did you get it?
I got them from my buddy Sal.
Why do you have them?
Sal is a big guy and scared me into having them.
This could get you into big trouble. Or you could get really sick. Do you want to come roller skating with us? You could go home and play video games or flush the drugs. Do you want to come skating with us? I will buy you mini tacos.
I will roller skate with you and eat mini tacos.